I genuinely don't say this to be rude, but Emma Chamberlain's podcast genuinely is just a girl that needs to go to college. I'm not saying that in the way that means, oh, she's dumb, she needs to go to college. She's just clearly a girl that needs to riff ideas with people. She gets a little in her echo chamber.
Part 652 of the things that I have nothing to do with and I shouldn't be talking about, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I'm gonna explain, I think, the fundamental reason why Emma Chamberlain's podcast comes off like disingenuous and people are having issues with it. It's like she's talking about these things and people aren't interested in it because there's nothing being added. Because if you're on the internet and you're like listening to podcasts and like watching media and stuff, you already have a roster of creators talking about everything she's talking about in a way deeper, kind of better way, which is like really unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. Hi, it's Keisha. Nice to meet you all. Get in here because we've got quite a bit to get on into. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and talk about Emma Chamberlain and a lot of the conversation currently been had in regards to her. I've seen this conversation go on Reddit. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it on TikTok. I think a lot of her viewers are kind of like turning against her, or not necessarily turning against her, shall we say, but just see her in a different light now and don't like what they're seeing. So I thought, you know what, I would go ahead and check out the conversation, see what it is people are saying. Everybody's talking and running their mouth, so babes, why am I not going to do the same thing? Hi, here I am. I've written quite a bit for today's video. I probably paid attention more here than let me not finish that sentence before you guys try and drag me. But anyways, my point is I actually stayed up last night gathering a lot of points, you know, formulating this video as best as I can, because sometimes I be going on tangents too. I be talking a whole lot of nothing, and if you actually take several steps back and shuffle a little to the left and then the right, you can actually hear that, babes, what are you doing? Just waffling. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's the Gemini in us, I don't know. So make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe, support the channel. It literally costs you nothing in this economy, yeah, where everything's pricey, taxed. It costs you nothing to subscribe and help a fine babe out. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you don't do that, then I just feel like you're a hater. All right, it costs you nothing, takes less than 10 seconds. So what are you waiting for? Or oh yeah, if you sorry, let me catch my breath. Also, if you're new around here, we basically just chat a bunch of shit and then we just go about our day, and then we gather the next time to do the same thing, and then we just go. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really isn't that deep. I don't like to take things too personally. We like to, you know, talk about pop culture moments, things happening, which are entertaining for me to report on, and then toodles. I'll see you guys soon. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like when people start to take this conversation over to my other platforms and like long it out. It's like, it's not that deep. Before we get started, I know I'm rambling a lot, but this part I know somebody needs to hear. I've been very vocal about like mental health and like where I'm at with mental health and my journey, especially within the last 2 years. And I just want to say that, you know, everyone's going through it. Everyone has their own reasons for being sad, but just know that you're heard and seen. Yes, there are bigger things happening in the world, that's for sure. It shouldn't take away from the personal everyday struggles that you go through. So I just want you guys to know that I'm here for you. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and most importantly, I love you. Well, some of you, the ones who actually have common sense and are supportive and hold me accountable when I need to be, not just drag me for filth just because you want to drag me for filth because you've been waiting for that time. And that's why I say I love some of you. I'm just keeping it real. Daylight savings is a bitch. Like, why is it that 4:30 is dark outside? When 4:30 comes, as in the PM, I'm in bed thinking, well, I'm going to bed thinking it's 9 PM. Like, I don't like that for my head. I don't. I hope that we can all get through this together. It's a journey and a half, trust me. I can tell you that for free. But there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, where the tunnel is at, bitch, I don't know. But let's keep looking for it. Do you know what I mean? In today's video, we'll be discussing the current events in regards to Emma Chamberlain being out of touch, going all philosophical. Maybe I'm dumb, I need to go back to college. Philosophical. Sorry, I don't know why I'm glitching. Actually, wait, my excuse is that is what? What's the time? It's literally 9:39 in the AM, so that's my excuse. Whenever I'm glitching and my English is not Englishing, I always blame it on the time. It's just too early for my brain to, do you know what I mean? Viewers feel that she needs to go back to college and further her education, as she's lacking it a lot. That part had me shookity shook, that's for sure. And lastly, her no longer being relatable. Now, my obvious response to that last point is, duh, of course she's not going to be relatable. Like, she's a flipping millionaire. She literally lives in a mansion, a penthouse. I don't know what the difference is, isn't it? Like, she is living it up, and she's no longer the girl that maybe a lot of you guys fell in love with when she was like 17, 18. Times are changing. Of course, people are allowed to grow. I can't stand a bitch who doesn't like other people growing. Like, let people be. If they're growing for the better and bettering themselves and their mindset, then what's the problem? Like, people swear that everyone is changing for the worse. Not everyone is like that. Like, you guys are making it seem like she's a druggie now and she hates her viewers and she's a mean person. Like, that's just not the impression that I get personally. I do like Emma Chamberlain. I feel like I've been on the journey with her since the beginning. Like, I relate to certain things that she's gone through, certain things that she's expressed, but I also don't relate to everything. Like, I'm not a bitch who was like wearing a bunch of scrunchies in my hand and thought that I can do a messy bun. Babes, my hair can't go in a messy bun, do you know what I mean? And I accepted that, right? Did I feel a little bit sad when all she did, wow, what are the odds, there's scrunchies on my table? All she did was like wear a bunch of scrunchies on her hand. Like, she had us in a chokehold back in 2018, 19. And this is what I'm saying. We just call any and everyone influencers. Why? I didn't really like the connotation of influencers. I feel like it was a negative rep we would get. I feel like, I don't know, influencers are just like, because if you actually really think about it, what do a lot of influencers influence you to do? Do they influence you to buy anything? Like, there's only a few girlies and gays who have had me. I remember back in 2019, bro, like, I can't make this ish up. Emma Chamberlain, scrunchies. You remember the Teddy jacket, the brown one, high-waisted shorts, Levi's in specific, and then a Doc Martin Jaden boots that I wanted but I couldn't afford. I remember wanting those boots, and you know the bitch is influential when I literally had to do a Google search, a 1-2 Google search, like, what Doc Martin boots does Emma Chamberlain have? Not that I could afford it, but the Delulu in me, back in 2018, was like, yeah, I'm gonna afford this one day, and I did the next year. Oh, thank you very much. I wanted to stomp the way Emma stomped with them shoes. Like, talk about influence. It's so funny though, because my older brother actually gave me a compliment, and that's the funny part. He was like, Keisha, you know you're an influencer. And I was like, well, there's two ways this conversation can go. And listen, there's nothing wrong with being an influencer. There's so many privileges that we do have. I think I typically like to associate myself to more of a content creator than influencer, just because of the weird rep we've gotten within the last couple of years. I know I'm not a scammer. I know I'm not out here being fraudulent and doing GoFundMes, when in reality, like, no one's dying, no one's hurt, no one's in pain, apart from my bank account and my edges. Like, a lot of people just be doing GoFundMes to like raise money for them to go and do like a quick sew-in, or for them to take a vacation to Thailand or Germany or Barbados. I want to thank my fans, I want to thank Jay-Z, I want to thank the Navy, I want to thank the music industry. You know what I mean? Bitch, that boot was heavy. I actually have it now. Ask me how many times I've worn it since buying it. Twice. They're just too heavy to stomp in, and I'm like, bitch, the only time I want to wear it is if I want to stomp on a bitch, because I'm kidding, we didn't promote violence around here. I am an Emma Chamberlain fan, as I loved watching her enter the lifestyle scene, being authentic and wholesome. She didn't come on camera with a full beat to looking put together 24/7. She actually came on camera under eye bags, dark circles, messy hair, breath probably smelling or whatnot. I don't know, probably didn't, but you know, like, she came on camera not looking the most glammed or anything, and I really respect that, because I feel like a lot of people will slap on a little concealer here and there, and that's no judgment, and pretend they're more than just started that way, when it's like, babes, no, you didn't. You went in front of your vanity, slapped on a little concealer, mascara and gloss, and decided to start your video. Again, nothing wrong with that, but I loved the approach that Emma Chamberlain was coming with. It gave very much, I don't give a F about my appearance until I need to give an F about my appearance, but because I'm at home, in the comfort of my home, talking to you guys, I don't need to do the most, and I really like that kind of delivery. And it was something that I mean, to this day, I feel like it's something in which we don't see a lot of creators come with. I think for the most part on my channel, you will always see me, well, not always, I like getting glam now. I love playing around with makeup. I love the way it makes me look when I have my makeup, but I also love the way I look without my makeup. And I feel like a lot of my videos are me without makeup, and I just love it. I just feel like the vibe that I want to put out on my channel, and the vibe that I feel like I got with Emma Chamberlain, is the vibe of like catching up with a friend, kikiing, is giving very much FaceTime. Oh my god, but did you hear about this? You haven't heard about it? Let me put you on. What do you guys think about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of vibe that I like, and that's the vibe that I gravitate towards, and that's what I feel from Emma Chamberlain. Even in the beginning of her starting her podcast as well, I felt like, I mean, you could tell that she was in her bedroom making the podcast, laying on her bed and just like talking on the mic and everything. I like that. It's not everyday full-on production, white background, or like this whole setup. Again, it works for some people, but I never need that from Emma Chamberlain, just because I feel like she's just like a raw bitch, unfiltered, or that's just how it appeared in the beginning anyways. I had my nosy ass question whether she showered or not. Do you remember that time she made that comment? Let me stop it, because everyone has their own reasons for calling Emma Chamberlain relatable, especially back in 2018 and 2019, the period in which Emma had a massive chokehold over the internet. She had bitches throwing up peace signs a little too often. Now, am I saying that she's the inventor of a peace sign? Hell no, because bitch has been doing that since 19 something something. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Before Emma Chamberlain was even conceived or popped out of her mother's. Emma Chamberlain did not invent peace signs, neither did she invent the constant zoom ins, neither was she the inventor of a brown cozy teddy jacket or a Doc Marten, but that definitely was, it became like her branding, it definitely became her thing. And I think that a lot of creators, I remember at the time when vlogging was like really in, kind of tried to like mimic that style, not necessarily copy it to a T, but they saw that was working for Emma and wanted to try that out for themselves. I mean, I love me a lifestyle babe, I do, and I've been watching even the creators who came before Emma, and a lot of their styles ended up changing when Emma was in the scene. I saw the way people would act around Emma. It was crazy. Like, you just had to be there. There were a lot of lifestyle girlies at the time and even people who came before her, but she was unique in her own right and really hooked the viewers. From her random rants to her doing like DIYs and the zoom ins every 2.5 seconds, and her just like constantly making coffee. How much coffee was she gonna drink that day? I don't know. One thing about me is I'm not really a coffee type of girl. Have I ever had coffee before? The gag is, in the words of Kiki Palmer, I think I've had coffee once, but I like to block out that memory just because of the aftertaste is mad. Now, maybe like the coffee that I had was bitter and black, just like some of your hearts, but like, I don't know, like, it was just, it didn't give. Maybe like there's a coffee that I need to get. Put me on to the best coffee. I'm talking flavorful, I'm talking succulent, I'm talking like, do you know what I mean? Like, put me on, babes, because I want to be a coffee girl. I want to wake up in the morning thinking about so many things. I want to wake up in the morning and crave coffee. She was in her mid-teens when all of this took place, and she's now only 22 years old. I think a lot of people often forget her age and think that she's maybe like in her mid-20s just based on how long it feels like she's been in the industry for, when actually she's been around for only a couple of years. Her growth was very, very, very rapid, and I think he even like surprised her at a certain point. I remember, I mean, I feel like I've been a part of this like Emma Chamberlain journey since the beginning, because it probably was the case. I remember seeing a lot of her earlier content and seeing how quick she would grow, and especially because I was I've been a creator around since like 2016-17. Whilst we don't do the same type of content, I remember seeing like, oh my god, this girl is growing thousands daily, sometimes hourly. This is something that I had not personally witnessed with my own two people, you know what I mean, babes? So like, seeing it was so cool. Seeing is believing. It's okay not to be okay. No, seriously though, seeing is actually believing. So inspired and felt creative and felt like, you know what, if this is happening for her, then this could happen for me. Maybe I was living in Delulu land, but I'm also a firm believer in being hopeful and actually just like manifesting that ish as well. Now, I think behind every success is a great team, and I think that yes, she put in so much work and she spent hours and hours editing and would like do all-nighters and everything. That was very evident with her content. A certain part of it is also down to certain privileges that she has, in which we can go ahead and talk about and discuss. I think one of it is just having the white privilege. It's always going to work in your favor. Imagine being white and not having the privilege work in your favor. Sorry, I had to make that joke. I'm sorry. Has worked with like household fashion houses, attended the Met Gala twice, personally invited by Anna Wintour, as in Anna Wintour thought of you and said, yeah, bring her here. She was even like interviewing celebrities on the red carpet, and I liked her approach to it. I feel like she's a quirky girl. She makes people feel comfortable, because even the A-list celebrities, even those celebrities who love a good old red carpet, still get anxious, and just, you know, having the right questions and energy asked to you and brought to you can make you feel so different. So I like Emma Chamberlain doing the whole... My dog is barking. My dog is such an attention seeker. Attended a bunch of like parties in Hollywood. She's walked the Cannes Film Festival, and I know there are plenty of other occasions that I've missed out on. The point is that she's absolutely killing it. There's no doubt her career won't continue taking her to elite places. Behind every success, like I mentioned, is a great team backing them and helping them build connects and network. So shout out to her team as well. With that being said though, to anyone, it doesn't matter the industry to be honest, but mainly in the creative industry, be careful who you sign with and be careful who you associate yourself with, because a lot of people just like the idea of you, but not many people are willing to like help you out. And I remember working with, I'm not going to name who it is, but I remember working with this network. They reached out to me and they were so excited to work with me because they loved what I was doing and everything. And I have no doubt about that, because I mean, hey, it's me. I signed my contract. Luckily, it wasn't a long contract. It was just like a 6-month contract. We'll see how it goes. Very smart on my end. And they just did nothing for me. They didn't even communicate with me. I'd reach out to them. I'll get paid dust. The only time they'd reach out to me is when like someone wanted to sponsor me and they wanted to get their cut from, you know, the check. And I just thought that was so crazy. But a lot of people are so calculated. So having legit people in your team who really are rooting for you and are helping you gain those opportunities, major respect to those people. I do think they exist. I just don't know where they're at. I haven't had that opportunity, but I'm also okay with not having management right now. But also if like a blessing happens in which management reach out to me and it feels right, then yeah, I'ma do what I gotta do. It seems everyone, their great grandfather, cousin, and auntie has a podcast. Where's my podcast at? Like, bitch, why haven't I started? Emma Chamberlain started her podcast back in 2019 and named it Anything Goes, but it was previously known as Stupid Genius. I don't look at Emma Chamberlain as like a girl that gives advice. I don't know if I want advice necessarily from Emma Chamberlain, no shade or anything, but like I want you to let me know about like your messy stories, like your interactions with guys, you know, things that you've witnessed, the collaborations that you didn't enjoy. Like I want tea. Maybe it's just because I'm a nosy ass bitch and I need to go and touch grass. I don't know. Nah, I don't think it's that though, because even when I do go out and touch grass, I'm still a nosy ass bitch. I just want to know that I mean, our nosy is different though, because some of you knows your nosies is going to pocket watch and check people's net worth. I mean, for the purpose of today's video, I did find out that Emma Chamberlain's net worth is $22 million, okay? I hate pocket watching. It feels very uncomfortable. Like, why did I go and Google search that? But for the purpose of this video, I did that. But on a daily, some of you guys just be pocket watching like, oh my god, this person bought that. Girl, it's not that deep. So let's go ahead and check out the description of the podcast, written either by herself or a professional. Either way, she had to like to run it by people to get some approval. So the Anything Goes podcast, the description here says, Emma prefers to share her thoughts with a microphone rather than a physical human being. So thank God she has a podcast. Recorded from the comfort of her bed and some other fun places, Emma talks at lengths about whatever is on her mind every week. Anything really does go on this podcast. I hate to be that person, and I'm not always this person because sometimes I get it wrong. If you see my Instagram stories, my punctuation is actually disgusting. Like, when people correct me, I get so embarrassed. I'm not dumb or anything. I sometimes just get it wrong. But like, I can't stand it when like, especially like if you have professional backing, okay? Like I'm just keeping it real. Especially if you have people who like, this is their job to like fact check everything and like make sure everything's grammatically correct. I know I'm not bugging here. I'm not the smartest of people, but I feel like the punctuation's off. Like the capital, where is the usage of capital letters when appropriate after the full stop? Like, I'm sorry. Sometimes philosophy, sometimes a random story from 10 years ago, sometimes advice, sometimes fun interviews, and sometimes nothing at all. You never really know what you're gonna get, but that's what keeps it interesting. New episodes every Thursday and Sunday, video available only on Spotify. So she was actually also fortunate enough to have like a Spotify deal as well. Congratulations to her for that. I remember like coming across a bunch of episodes of Emma Chamberlain's, tuning in because some of them were actually really funny. I like to play them in the background when I'm like cleaning my room. I was about to say when I'm cooking as well, but I don't do that. You know, when I'm cleaning my room, or my parents get onto me to clean my room, you know? I found them very, very, very appealing. Again, it feels like a friend just like chatting, somebody who would like go around in circles. But I feel like as much as people complain about like going around in circles, I again do think that she should like format things a little bit better, especially if she does have a team. Like there should be like a producer who tells her how to like keep things going. But I also kind of like things not being polished and perfected. Maybe that's just me. Viewers find it odd how her episodes, mainly in the last couple of months, feel like it's her being all philosophical. Just like, I don't know, like pretending like she's like this person who's experienced everything and has so much wisdom to share for viewers. Now here's the thing. Yes, I do believe with age comes wisdom, or so I would hope, but that's not always the case though, is it? I always find it kind of weird when like young people would like do tell-alls. That's not what Emma's done here, but like even with like Madison Beer, like her doing like a tell-all book, I feel like, isn't she, like she's in her mid-20s, like I'm not saying that she hasn't experienced stuff, because I think that she's probably got some tea worth spilling, that's for sure. And maybe I should go and buy the book. But I just feel like sometimes maybe you're too young to like, nah, I probably would do the same thing too. If an opportunity came about and this book company reached out to me like, come and give us a tell, or like give us, I'm gonna do it. In a heartbeat, not because I love me some money. I mean, who doesn't love money? But most importantly, because I actually have a couple things to share. All right, some things in which, yeah, I want you to slap some coin down to listen to the tea. Everybody has an experience. Everybody's gone through things. I'm personally, again, not going to Emma Chamberlain for advice, because what do I look like going to Emma Chamberlain for advice? People feel like she knows nothing about college, yet she speaks about it, or she speaks as though she has so much wisdom and everything, and some people find that very offensive. It's public knowledge that Emma Chamberlain dropped out of school, which is an entire privilege in itself. I remember watching that video, and I think the reason why she posted that video finally is because people was like, wait, girl, why are you not going to school? Because there was times where she would vlog at school, but then it was like, girl, why are you not going to school? She finally made a video talking about how she dropped out of high school, how she had to do like an exit exam. I've never heard of that before. Like, I've never heard of that. So many people want to drop out of school. Some people do not enjoy school. Some people feel like school just isn't their safe place, you know, as it's all made out to be. Education is very important. I'm a firm believer in that. Get your education, okay? Because I've seen so many bitches who don't have their education and they're dumb as hell. And I'm not talking about Emma Chamberlain, I'm talking about the dummies. Like, dumb as hell, don't know where certain countries are. People out here think Africa is a flipping country. Like, it's actually really embarrassing, and you should be very ashamed of yourself, babe. She actually got quite a lot of praise for being very open in her platform and just keeping it real. Her reason for dropping out was one of the reasons was wanting to focus on the potential, which at the time for her was YouTube. She had no clue what would come from her taking her exit exam, but she did it with the consent of her parents as well. People strongly believe she needs to change her perception on things and continue further education. Ouch. Like, I'm sorry, but like, one of the worst insults you can get is, you probably should go to college. But I don't think it's always coming from a negative place when it comes to her viewers. I think people just want her to, like, you know, have the routine of college. It seems as though sometimes she appears to be depressed in some of her podcast episodes. Maybe she needs more friends, and a lot of that you can get from college as well. Whilst it is about education and furthering your future, it's also about like a social life as well, and developing those like lifelong friends that you can get. Sometimes it don't work, other times it does. But people have even compared her to Brittany Broski, another media personality who went to Texas A&M University and studied communications, saying that Emma should be more like Brittany in a sense where you can tell Brittany is more self-aware and knowledgeable about day-to-day things. She's also another creator who's amassed millions of viewers across all platforms, but still appears to be aware and in touch with reality. It's always the people who say like, I hate comparing women, but maybe you do it, because like, I've been seeing so many people mention Brittany Broski, and I like Brittany Broski. I haven't really gotten into her gig like that yet. I think she seems sweet though from the videos that I've seen. Comparing isn't really the best, but I guess using an example of like, you know, Brittany Broski is somebody who went to college, and yeah, she's still doing the social media thing, she's successful at it, but like, you can do both at the same time and it's still work in your favor. I'm never going to force someone to go to college, because what do I look like forcing someone to go to college? If they chose not to go to college, they didn't want to go to college, and if she changes her mind at any point in her life, then she can go to college. She definitely has the accessibility and finances to do so. For me personally, I finished high school, I finished college, I just didn't go to university, and that was a personal choice and a decision that I had made from quite a young age. I wanted to just like focus on me a little bit. If I wanted to go back into education, then fingers crossed I could do that at any point. There are people in their 50s who even, you know, attend university, and it's something that I think is getting somewhat normalized. Like, I think people are still gonna look at you a little bit odd, like if you're 60 in a class of like 20-something-year-olds or like 18-year-olds, but like, that's sick to me. Like, I like it. I like somebody going back to school to like further their education and gain the knowledge they need for like certain, you know, career paths. I think that's so cool. If I ever want to go to university, then I can go to university. It's gonna be expensive as hell. Probably gonna piss me off if I have to live with someone, but that is also a part of the experience. You know, it's the things that you love, it's the things that you hate, it makes you you, it's the experiences that you gain from that. So I think that's another reason why people feel like, you know, she could do with some sort of schedule, and she could do with some sort of like human interactions and get to know other people's stories rather than just like her own lifestyle. And that's why people feel like she's very out of touch with reality. I really wish somebody would stop her. I do think Emma Chamberlain has a group of friends, but I don't know whether she has that one friend that she can turn to that will tell her everything. I do feel as though there are a lot of users in the industry, so fair enough if she doesn't have a bestie like that. She's still quite young, and she's just finding herself as well. But yeah, this is nothing new when it comes to someone blowing up and wanting to pursue content creation. Now, to be honest, I would maybe do the same. I would take advantage of this great opportunity that is social media. And if or when I want to go back to college or university, wherever you're watching in the world, we call it uni over here, but some of you guys call it... Shut up. I don't think she was wrong with wanting that, point blank period, but her coming to that decision at 16 is very much a young age. But also that was similarly to me knowing that I didn't want to go to university. Like, I wanted to do college, but I didn't want to go to university. If I did change my mind, then okay, great. But I stuck with that. I stuck with that just because I wanted to try something different. me having anxiety as well was something that just didn't help. I wish I challenged myself a little bit more, and that's me admitting that. But again, if I want to go back to university and study something, then great. I also didn't know what it was that I wanted to study. I wasn't like set on something. I didn't want to just like do something for the sole purpose of like pleasing other people, aka family, and making it seem like I had everything together when I really didn't have everything together, and I was not afraid of admitting that. I mean, dropping out of high school is crazy, to be completely honest with you. It's very crazy. College is different. High school is just something that I feel as though when you have the resources and privileges to do it and complete it, I would say do it. Now listen, you can go from high school to high school, fair enough, until you find the place you feel the most comfortable and you feel the most you. But I do feel like for me personally, nobody asked, but I thought I would share, I do think you should finish high school. Plus, going to an all-girls Catholic school is not for the weak. One day I probably will tell all about that in a memoir, if you care to read it. Because she went to an all-girls Catholic school, I went to an all-girls Catholic school. I can relate in that sense, where bitches are mean as hell and want to fight you for no goddamn reason. And it's like, why you want to fight me? I looked ugly as hell. Like, why are you picking on the ugly kid? Do you know what I mean? I get it, because they see potential in you. And do you know, anyways, let me not finish that sentence because that's for another time. All I'm trying to say is that, no, seriously though, all I'm trying to say is that all girls Catholic school is the ghetto upon ghettos. It is wild as hell. Like, you really have to develop some sort of thick skin or get your ass out of there. And that she chose to do. When you replace education with, I guess you could say, ego, and trust me, I mean this in the most respectful way, this is kind of what you're gonna get. You start believing that you're the expert when it comes to everything. Like, you start thinking that you know everything when, babes, you actually don't, and you need to G-check yourself. And that's been me a couple of times. Like, I need to G-check myself because nobody else is gonna do it for me, okay? I had to hold myself accountable. Like, damn, bitch, like, I'm coming with this approach of like, I know it all, and babes, you haven't even lived it. Like, I remember her speaking about divorce and speaking about love and everything, and I know that she's gone based on like her family dynamic of her mum and dad not being together. There are a lot of like broken households where like mother and father not living together, separated and everything, and yes, like divorce rates have definitely increased, that's for sure. But I feel like that's the only thing that she's able to hold on to. Let's go ahead and check out this comment that a Reddit user left. They said, I feel like in order to be an influencer, you have to be a little bit narcissistic. This is not the first time I've heard this comment, by the way. And one of the biggest symptoms of that is having an overinflated sense of self-worth. I'm pretty certain that's what we're all seeing. And it's a bit concerning that these people have built their entire careers on their narcissistic personalities. Whoa, that's a lot to unpack. Now, do I believe there's a little bit of narcissism in everyone who comes on YouTube and shows themselves on camera and, you know, is talking and vlogging, whatever? I think to a certain degree, yes, I do. I do think so. I think for me, though, some people don't believe me, and that's completely fine. What I look like telling, I'm not a pathological lawyer. I might kill my ex. No shade. Sorry. Sorry if you caught the shade then. I do think for me, though, like, I started my channel because I saw the Zoellas. I saw the creators who were doing the goddamn thing and doing it well, and I like talking to myself. No, but not talking to myself, like having full-on conversations, but, you know, I just be thinking out loud sometimes. And also, like, I like the idea of, like, yes, people like discovering me because I feel like I'm that bitch, period. But I also don't like too much of it. So, like, you can't control it. You can't pick and choose, right? I'm a very anxious person. I get shy sometimes as well. Depends who I'm talking to. If you're fine as hell, then bitch, why wouldn't I get stutter? I start stuttering. Is there narcissism? Like, do you think we're narcissistic people? Do you think content creators are narcissistic? That's crazy. It's literally crazy. But I think there's some truth in that. I don't think we necessarily need to involve college in relation to like Emma Chamberlain, because there are so many people who didn't go to college but remained intelligent and skilled without a formal education. So let's get that out of the way. Google is at the tip of your fingertips. Go and invest in books. Creators want to stop learning as soon as like they quit high school and make YouTube their full-time job. Like, you know, you should never give up with learning. Because when you do, it's embarrassing to watch as a viewer. I'm just like, this person is dumb as hell. Like, I don't like to use the word dumb for anyone, but and the thing is, it's in your control. Pick up that goddamn book, please. What are you waiting for? Or it's cringe. You get so wrapped up in this lifestyle and popularity, but you also end up saying some out of touch, ignorant-ish. She should take a look at the commentary currently taking place in regards to this conversation and see it as mainly constructive criticism. It seems she doesn't want to, though. It seems that she doesn't want to be well versed on things, but would rather go based on what she thinks as opposed to having facts back her up. Emma Chamberlain likes to hide her newer life from viewers. Have you clocked that? Now listen, one thing about me is if I feel like viewers are being too invasive and they are going past the boundary that I have set in place, then by all means, you do you. At the end of the day, you've got to protect yourself. Privacy is very important. I do feel as though Emma Chamberlain doesn't like to let us into this like newfound lifestyle of hers where she is gone from YouTuber to celebrity. Something that we haven't seen from a lot of creators who have gone from YouTuber to celebrity. And for me, I think that it could be really sickening to see, but instead she just ghosts. Why isn't she posting? Like, I hate when YouTubers, like, they hit a certain milestone and they drop everything that helped them grow in the first place. Get it, if you're dealing with burnout and you're not inspired, which she's expressed a couple of times in the past, listen, my heart goes out to you because I know what dealing with burnout is like. I had it last year, I had it this year as well. It is the worst thing, especially when your job is to be a creative. So I understand that. But I feel as though, like, giving us one video a year is a little bit mean. Is it just, am I asking for a lot? No, I don't want videos every single week because maybe you can't afford to do videos every single week because your schedule is just so goddamn busy and you're just not in that place anymore. I understand it, I respect it. But for you to be at 12 million subscribers, babes, this ain't 12 subscribers we're talking about. This is not 12,000. This is not 120,000, babes. This is 12 million people who decided to subscribe to you, right? Like, I just feel like sometimes we get paid dust as viewers and it's like, girl, there's this big disconnect now. You are not even prioritizing something that you loved. And the thing is with Emma Chamberlain, she's basically like vlogging her day to day. So like, I'm not saying that she can't deal with like burnout and feeling demotivated and uninspired, because I think with vlogs sometimes there's this pressure for you to like your lifestyle to look a certain way. But when it came to Emma, we never needed her to do anything big or go to do this in order for us to watch it. We would love her even if she's like on her bed just like waffling, you know, except from when it's on a podcast. In the last year. I feel as though she doesn't let us in. I think she's become a private babe now. That's why when she does come back to YouTube, she's just gonna be like filming from certain rooms. I feel like she doesn't like to let people know that she's this millionaire. Babes, you are a millionaire. Own it. You've worked hard to get there. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, people are gonna judge you for being a millionaire. People are gonna pocket watch and all that weird stuff. But like, I feel like, is it just me? Is it just me? But sometimes I feel like she films from like a certain angle or like just this one room that doesn't look the most glamorous. Like, it's cute and everything, don't get it twisted, but it's not like beautiful. Like, you know when she did that video on YouTube where I think, what's the YouTube channel called? Celebrities let the camera into their house, right? I think it's called like architectural design. I don't know, bro, forget it. And the house looks so good. Like, it looks so good. It felt very quirky. It looks like a representation of her personality. The colors were great. Like, it was a beautiful, gorgeous house, that's for sure. But how come I don't be seeing that in the vlogs? Like I obviously know she has money, duh. But like, I just feel like she's kind of strategic with what she shows and everything. It's like, girl, like, just show it. I want to see more of that. I don't like it when creators like abandon their platforms once they start going mainstream. And listen, love him or hate him, KSI didn't do that. KSI literally has a channel of over like 20 million subscribers and then has a Sidemen channel, and he still has it in him to post every single Sunday. And I'm sure his schedule is busy as hell. Sometimes he doesn't want to show up on set and like record videos, but he still does it. I think that she's in her head a lot, which is quite sad. I think that maybe she's in need of certain dynamics, friendships. I don't like certain things that she's expressed in relation to love. I know that on her podcast she was talking about like how she believes romantic love isn't real. The honeymoon phase is a whole lot of pretending. That's what she said. We pretend that we're happy and we don't mean to do that, but it's not real and it always comes to an end. Like, that is such a miserable take at life, and maybe that's a reflection of where she's at, but that isn't really it. And you have to be careful because she has a lot of impressionable viewers, okay? They're gonna think, oh damn, like love is something that humans crave, but like, what's the point of craving it if we're never really gonna have it because it's not real? And I still believe in love. It's one of the most beautiful things and aspects about life, sorry. I think that she needs to, you know, realize that yes, you've probably gone through X, Y, and Z, but that's not it for everyone else. And had she had those interactions with maybe not only influencer friends but like regular people from maybe like her hometown, and that's why I think it's really important to keep like your hometown friends as well, because they ground you and they just they keep you remembering like, hey bitch, you might have gone all Hollywood now, but we haven't, and we're gonna still G-check you. And that's why you have to have the good friends, okay? I want to know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. What do you guys think in regards to Emma Chamberlain? What are some things that you've noticed? Yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Make sure you guys go and follow me over my Instagram at Itzkeisha_. If you guys have like a video suggestion that you want to see, or if you simply just want to talk to me, then that's the best place to do so. So yes, I've been your host, Itzkeisha, and I'll catch you guys real soon for a brand new video. Bye.